Good morning, fellow gardeners. Well, we're up here at the soil pile this morning, and this video may make you want to kick my rear. I don't know. I've just taught you how to do all those different tubs and all, and we're going to show you another tub that we've been using for 2 years now, experimenting with, to try to get it right before we showed y'all what to do. Now this tub is really made for people that's going to be gone for long spells at a time. In other words, be gone 3 or 4 weeks at a time, or 2 to 4 weeks, I'll say. It's a truck driver or something, or somebody takes a long vacation. So we're going to show you this other video, this new tub we're making on this video of how we're holding 12 inches of water. And I don't go back. I mean, what you've got made up at home where you garden in is fine. But this is just for extreme cases where you have to be gone from home 2 to 4 weeks at a time. So here we go. We take one of our regular tubs. As you can see down here, we've got a regular tall tub, just like this black one right here. This is one of them right here that we've got. We've got a red one down here that we've punched a 12-inch hole. We're going to come up here and punch a hole 12 inches up, okay? And this is what we've done right down here on this red one. We come up and punched a hole 12 inches up. And that's the only hole we put. Now you put one on the other side at 12 inches too. I have no problem with it. And then we're going to set our tub there. Now I know this is cracked a little bit. That's the reason I used it, to show you that's not going to hurt anything, because that's above the 12-inch crack. You know, we're using 12 inches of water. What we're going to do, we're going to fill it full of 12 inches of water when we get ready to water. Okay. So the first thing we do after we get that hole punched 12 inches up, one hole on one side or one on each side, don't make any difference. Then we're going to take a bucket here. This is a 5-gallon bucket. Now you can use a regular 5-gallon bucket that has a handle on it if that's all you have. This has happened to be a tree bucket. It has holes in the bottom of it already, you can see. And all we did was, we're going to set this right over in the middle of this, right in the center, and we're going to fill it up with soil. You see, I've already put my soil in here. I'm going to get me a little bit more soil and fill that up completely full. As you see, that bucket needs to be good level full. Rounded up just a little bit is okay, not much, because what we're going to do now, we've got that full of soil. This is going to be our wick to bring the water out of this tub down in here. It's going to bring it up and come up through here into our other tub. Now, I will go back and show you, this is what we did last year. We cut a hole 6 inches in diameter, and we put that right on top of that bucket like that right there. You see, it's touching right there, if you can see. See that soil touching there? Okay. But there was a problem with that in the hot summertime. This restricts the water coming up through here. We needed more water over to the side. So what we have done, we went back and dumped these out, and we cut this hole from a 6-inch hole now. We went and cut it bigger, and now we've got one just almost as big as our bucket. Just as long as it's not any bigger than the bucket is at the top, you'll be okay. So we took that pot and we set it down. We set our bucket right in the middle. Set this right over the top of it, and look how beautiful that soil sits right up there against that. Now, what we also did, now this is not necessary, you can put it in there like that and leave it. Now then, we also, let me back up and tell you one other thing we did. We drilled a 1-inch hole right here. See this for a 1-inch hole to put our pipe in. This is going to fill our pipe, so we'll put that in there like into that. We're going to lay this cloth across here. This is just a piece of shade cloth, 30% or 40% shade. And the reason we did this, as we'll show you here in a minute, we wanted to be able to pick this tub up and our soil not fall out the bottom. So all we did, we just laid this right in the bottom of it, like into this right here. And we're going to put our pipe in that hole. Let me borrow this pipe right here to stick in here in that hole right there. All right, David, if you'll fill this tub up for us, we're going to show them how we do. I'll hold this and you put the soil in. Okay. We could use a longer one and go all the way to the bottom. See, we'll be fine and dandy. Okay. This just kind of show you how we're doing. All right, this is the way we fill this soil up with soil, this tub up with soil. We've got this shade laying across here. We first made a little piece of shade, but it would pop through it. So we had to make one come plumb over kind of to the sides and fill this full of soil like this right here. We get up about this full and we would stop. We'd put in our fertilizers like we always tell you to do, and then we'll put the soil on up to the top like we're doing right now. Now, what you'll have to do when you cut that hole in there and put that pipe all the way to the bottom, it's going to be a little bit longer pipe. It's going to be up about 3 foot long now. But that's all right. We're just showing you how to build this thing so that those of you that are traveling or are on the road, you know, working and be gone for 3 weeks or so, you need to have more water. So that's the reason we're doing this, to show you how to build this. All right, now then, see, we've got her filled up with soil. Now, if you wanted to round this up and put your plastic over the top like I was telling you about to keep the rain out, you could do that. We're not going to do that. You can just round it up with soil, put you a plastic bag, cut you a little X on your pipe, push it down, and tie it around here around the bottom of the top of this bucket. Put it around here and put you a string right here, and that'll hold that plastic over. You can cut for your tomato plant or pepper, or if you're going to put 2 peppers or 3, whatever. Anyway, that's the way you can do it right there. We're just going to show you how we just fill it full, because we're in a high tunnel, remember? And this is all we do to use it. Now, David and I are going to set this out to kind of show you how this bottom held up. David, get a hold of that with me. We're going to pick it up so that they can see. Look at the bottom of it. Can you see the cloth down there on the bottom a little bit? That keeps it from falling out, see? And we're going to set this over to the side. David, go right back over behind you now and set it down. That's good. Okay. Now then, I'm going to set this pansy tub, and we'll try to show him how we got it on the bottom. Let's turn it up, Danny. David, you see the bottom of that jack where we've got the cloth on it to hold the plastic up?
I can't.
Can't see it yet? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good deal. Now we're just going to set that down in there on top of that 5-gallon bucket, and it's sitting there right on it. It's going to work for you. All you got to do is get that piece of pipe, and you find your 1-inch hole where it was and stick that in there. We do it before we pot it, but I'm just kind of showing you how it would be, and that'll have your pipe in there that you can water. And what you do, you pour it in here again until it runs out that hole on the side, and you're going to have 12 inches of water in the bottom of that tub there to water your plants for up to a month. So it just works better for people that's going to be gone a long time. Those of you that are at home and not going to be gone, I wouldn't change over to nothing like this. I would stay with what we've been doing. It's just another way to make a tub. We're just trying to build a better wicking tub is what we're trying to do. That'll hold water, more water, it'll last longer.
I have a question for you.
Okay, question, Jack, you got a question?
Yeah. The 5-gallon bucket that you put in the bottom, you put the soil in that 5-gallon bucket.
Yes, fill it full.
What about holes or anything that's in the 5-gallon bucket?
Okay, if you use a tree bucket, there's already holes around the bottom of it. If you go buy one of these 5-gallon buckets with a handle on it that doesn't have any holes in it, take you a drill and drill you some holes right down around the bottom, 4, 5, or 6, just so water can get into that soil and it'll wick right up through there.
Okay.
And that's all you'd have to do if you use a 5-gallon bucket with a handle on it that doesn't have any holes in it. It doesn't have to have a handle on it, but anyway, yeah, that's a good question, Jack, and thank you for that. Yeah, those of you that use a 5-gallon bucket or something that you've got, just drill you some holes down around the bottom of it, on the sides of it, all the way around. 5 or 6, 7 holes. It doesn't make any difference. So water can get into your soil and it's going to wick up through there. And it's just another way to make a bucket that will go longer through the season for people that wants to travel or something like that. Also, I want to tell you that, you noticed I was using a short tub for the top one and to set it in there and fill it full of soil. Well, that's because I had these short tubs and I used them. But let me tell you, you can take a long tub, just like a deep tub, just like you're using, and set it in there. You just have to cut your hole almost as big as your 5-gallon bucket and just set it down in there on top of it. Fill this full of potting soil with a cloth in the bottom and go ahead and grow just like you were if you've got tall ones. Now, some of them going to question me now, what about using a barrel? What can you do? Well, I would cut me that barrel, instead of cutting it right half in two, I would cut it up, the one end of it, the one that's got the bottom in it, I would cut it 2/3 the way up, and the one that has where the end that has the bungs on the top, I would use that for about a 1/3 of it. And that way, you can use the bottom part of it for the holding the water. Set you a bucket in there, whatever size 5-gallon bucket you can find, and drill your hole right at the top of that, right below it, just a hair, just a ½ inch or inch below the top of that bucket in the side of that bottom barrel. And then you take the third that you had on top, it's got the 2 bung holes in it, you turn it upside down to use for the top, cut your hole in there just as big as your 5-gallon bucket, and here you go. It just gives you a little more soil. Some of you's going to worry about having a little bit more soil. And so I just want you to know you can use the tall one or the short one, either one. It doesn't make any difference. It's fine and dandy, okay? If you like this video, punch the button, ring the bell, and subscribe, and we'll come back and make you another video.